The famous YouTube witch who was offered to sleep with Baphomet. Now that title's crazy. I'ma like the video. This is by Almost False Podcast. If y'all don't know, he does these little stories where he like interviews people who have like crazy experiences with like the occult and stuff like that. One dude was a Freemason. I actually mess with his videos. I've seen a lot of videos that I haven't reacted to, but there are some videos of his which I have reacted to on my channel. You feel me? So go watch that with the Freemason and stuff like that.
And that night, I'm sitting out on my balcony, and this voice just goes, "How dare he do this to me? Does he not know who I am? I'm a witch." I started painting black pagan symbols on my face whenever I did a podcast or a video. I started studying hell. Hell was fascinating to me. I could feel the presence of something in the corner of my room. I see these horns and this goat head, and this body is like half male, half female. And as it walked closer to me, it put its hands up like this.
Hello,
And then she slept with him? That's crazy.
welcome back to the Almost
If that's how that happened, that's crazy.
False podcast where I interview regular people with incredible stories. Today's guest is someone you may or may not recognize, but at some point she was a famous YouTuber, having over 500,000 followers. She embraced being a witch, and her videos were all about that. And no, the title is not clickbait, that actually did happen, but she didn't get there in a day. So this interview is her life story, explaining how she became one of the most famous witches on YouTube, how that led to her encounter with Baphomet, and how the rest of her life changed after that. It's wild and it's super interesting, so I hope that you stick to the end, because in order to understand the most intense parts of her story, we first have to go back to when everything started for her. So come with me and learn about the fascinating story of Laura Ansel.
Well, I'd had tarot readings in before. My mum would go and see tarot readers, so I went and saw some of them. And so I wasn't opposed to it, and it wasn't unfamiliar for me. I got into tarot readings more deeply through watching them on YouTube. So I ended up, building my clothing line and selling my art and selling my clothes. And I did go to New York, but I did meet someone. I met a man there. And it was 4 years of just it's a situationship was what it was. And the torment of that, which I'd never had that before, it made me search for answers rather than me having the maturity to say, this person is not right for me. I tried so hard to make it work. And so what I found myself doing was
Does anybody know who this woman was when she was famous on YouTube though? They should have probably like dropped the name, showed a video, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll do that later on inside this video, but I don't know. They talk about right now when she was getting into tarot and stuff like that, her YouTube rise to sacrifice. Yo, if this look, I'm gonna play this beginning part to get context, right? But if it gets boring, we're jumping straight to the sacrifice, bro. This is what we really want to hear. Oh my God, yeah, this is what we really want to hear.
finding tarot readers online, and I didn't type in tarot readers. It's actually very common. So I would type in things like, why is this man doing this? Why is this man doing that? And eventually,
Okay, nah, I might let this part of the video play out because I could joke on her a little bit. Why do people do stuff like that, bro? Everybody always want, why ain't this person doing it? Why ain't they doing it? Everybody's so worried about everybody but themselves.
these readers just kept coming up, and I clicked on one.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm talking about relationships. Yo, I'm bugging. She talk about who does this. Why do I don't know. I'm gonna just shut up and let her talk. I'm confused.
And she said, she described the woman and she described the man. I was like, that's us. Oh my gosh, how does she know?
Oh,
And so
so there's a relationship. My fault, bro. I'm getting thrown for loops like I'm only 2 minutes into this video.
I found myself subscribing and always waiting for her to post. And then I found other readers. And so eventually, because I
Wait,
was
what?
impatient,
Is that a relationship?
I just thought, I'm going to get my own cards and I'm going to read these cards myself. And when I bought them, I just sat down with them, and my mother was there. She was like, "Oh, this is exciting. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Let go on, do what you know. Do you know what they mean?" Like we sat at the kitchen table, and I gave her a tarot reading. And
Now, we'll say this. Tarot's not inherently evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not true. but it definitely can be an open door if you don't know what you're doing. You feel me? Facts.
It was pretty accurate, but then at the same time I knew her, so I was like, well, I don't know. So I ended up, she brought people, like she said, oh, I've told so that you're a tarot reader, she wants to come for a reading. And before I knew it, I had people knocking on the door wanting a reading, and it was accurate. What I was saying was accurate. um so I put it online. I made my own YouTube channel,
Okay.
started posting often.
Okay. So she was
Yeah.
one of
And
them.
that became very successful very fast. We'll get to it. But I'm I'm curious. I don't plan on ever getting a tarot reading, and I'm no sorry, I know I'm not the only one who thinks like that.
I'm
So
I'm pretty sure this guy's a Christian, so that's why he kind of thinks like that. You feel me?
can you explain just in simple terms what is tarot cards, and like what do you do essentially when you read the cards?
You've got higher cards and lower cards, so major and minor.
I know that part. I don't think we care about the YouTube rise. We'll go to a little bit. Then we're gonna skip to the sacrifice.
Exhausted anyway.
Actually,
it,
I'll
it
go to
ran
the
my
beginning.
life.
I'll go to the beginning.
I want to transition into actually your YouTube channel. How did we already talked about actually how your interest with tarot kind of became something that you started posting online, but what happened when you started posting these things online?
Well, I gained a following quite quickly, and I started getting a lot of messages from people wanting their own private reading. So at first, that was never the plan. The plan was just to post online, and that was it. And maybe it helps someone, and maybe it doesn't. But I just started getting messages and messages saying, "Can I have a private reading? Can I have a private reading?" And so I just kind of did what other readers did. I let people book in for half an hour or an hour, and I just got booked up, solid, but to the point where I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it because it was not no, I wasn't prepared for it. So eventually I had an 8 month waiting list. I remember someone emailing me in January, and I was like, well, I can book you in September. And they're like, is this a joke?
Yeah, that's wild. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's wild.
I said, no, I'm literally booked up, and I'm reading 5 times a day, 5 days a week, and I'm exhausted, and I'm booked. Because
See, I couldn't do all that, bro. I could not give readings like that. That's wild, bro. I love giving y'all readings, bro, but like, nah, doing all that, nah.
what people were doing was they knew I was busy, they knew I was getting booked, so they would book multiple readings. So I would, like, you could buy a packet of 3 or a packet of 5 or 10, and a lot of people were buying 10 because they knew they wanted me every month. So they'd put down a chunk of money, and I'd give them the dates, and there you go. So everyone was doing that, which meant that I'm literally booked for 8 months, and I can't fit you in anywhere. I can't do any more than what I'm doing. I'm exhausted anyway. It ran my life. So on the one hand, everyone's looking at you going, oh my gosh, look how successful you are. This is amazing. Like, you work for yourself, you have your own business, your own website, you've got your house, you've got your car, you've got everything you need. You're completely self-sufficient. How amazing. Look at what Laura's doing. But I just got emptier and emptier. I was so alone. I was completely isolated all the time.
That's actually what I was going to ask. And I'm curious because also you don't get booked like that by having 20 subscribers. So how many subscribers did you get? How fast did it happen? And how?
All right, so we could assume how her YouTube went. Let's find out about this sacrifice now. You feel me?
So obviously a big part of your story is an encounter that you had with Baphomet. But before we get there, there's something that happened that made you dive deeper into darker kinds of witchcraft. Because so far we're just talking about tarot reading, which is a fairly common, kind of witchcraft. A lot of people do that. It's pretty out in the open. But what happened?
It's more divination than witchcraft, but they Christians don't know what they talk about when it comes to this field of activity. So you got to give them grace.
For you to get into some of the darker stuff.
But now, yeah, how do you go from tarot readings to sacrificing people? Like, what? You seem like you was doing some beneficial things, helping people, and now you sacrificing people? What's going on?
I think it was just that I got that the longer time went on, that voice of like, no one likes you, you're not lovable, that got louder.
Where did that even come from? How do you have a lot of people trying to interact with you, and now you're thinking they don't like me? You see, that it could have been because since she was opening herself up so much and also draining herself, she didn't even peep that her internal dialogue is just, you feel me?
My life got lonelier, and the more I lived my life and tried to go after the
Word.
things that maybe I thought would make me
Word. Well, I know what she messed up at. She probably hit a point where she was like, "Yo, this is taking a toll on me, but I can't give up that bread." And that's what she messed up at. She started going outside of herself. She started thinking that she needed bread more than well-being within inside herself. Probably that's probably what happened. And then when that happens, something's gonna happen to course correct you. Whether it's a demon taking over your life or it's simply just you reflecting on yourself and then choosing to make a better decision. But if you don't do that, then you're gonna fuck with the demons. You feel me?
happy, and then found out that they didn't. The darkness started to creep in. So being in England and being so lonely, my father said to me, like, why don't you come and live in Australia? My father had moved to Australia. My parents had divorced. And so I was like, well, maybe that's it. Maybe I need to live in the sunshine with all the other tarot readers because I'm alone here. I'm the only one. And I did that. I lived in Australia for 4 years and I was surrounded by it, by the occult. So when you're
Oh, so is like Australia like a big occult place? Let me find out.
around it, you get deeper into it. Um, there was a tarot reader on every corner. There was breathwork ceremonies and women's circles and womb work and
Why do you like why that stuff gotta be bad though? You feel me? Like why breath work gotta be bad? Nigga, like even scientists say breath work is good beyond like you could throw all the spiritual shit out the fucking window when it comes to the fucking and women's circles too. Like what? They actually have Christian women's circles. But I'm gonna just shut up. I get what she's trying to say though. You feel me? That's why I'm just like I'm gonna just shut the fuck up. I'm just being overly critical, I guess. You feel me?
it's the occult but with a sparkly face.
I mean, niggas act like the occult is something. Nigga, the occult just means hidden. So if you're doing something in the occult, you're just working with the hidden aspects of reality. It just so happens that when people start doing that, a lot of people tend to fuck with the malevolent evil shit. So now occultism is seen as evil shit.
So that sort of emerged, and I got more and more and more and more and more into that. With the emptiness and the loneliness was sort of creeping and getting bigger and bigger. And then I got into a relationship
That's how it always
with
starts.
a gentleman in Australia, and it was again the manifestation of no one likes me. If I say to him, "Do you even like me?" I don't feel like you even like me. Um,
You feel like nobody like you, so you decided to just start letting people crack it. Let them smack that. Let me stop.
because
Let me stop. My fault.
there was never like a full on commitment from him, despite the fact that
And he was a cheater.
we ended up getting married. It was kind
Oh,
of, I don't know why we did it, but when he asked me to marry him, I thought, oh my gosh, someone does love me.
yeah, I could
Like
see
this is
that.
real.
I feel bad. I could feel for her in that sense. Someone feel like, but it's like I don't get where that even came from though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that joint just kind of came randomly. Unless she was like always insecure growing up, bro. Was like, where did that come from?
And I'm like, why can't I feel it? I'm broken. Something's wrong with me. Like, what's going on? And we ended up getting married, and I ended up getting pregnant on the wedding night. So he said to me on our wedding, I'm going to get you pregnant tonight. And he actually did. And then was
What did you think they?
horrified when I told him I'm pregnant.
That's wild, bro. That's wild, bro. Why is he surprised? That boy either he was just trying to like be smooth, like, huh, huh, I'm gonna get you pregnant, or this man was hyped up off the marriage tip and was like, yeah, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna get pregnant. Did it? Came back to reality. He's like, oh my god, why'd I do it? Stupid stuff, bro.
And his response was like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, what do you mean? What am I going to do? I'm going to be pregnant for 9 months and then I'm going to give birth. What do you mean? What am I going to do? He's like, no, are you going to keep it? It's like, why would I not keep? I said, we're married.
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because it's like Test the mindset of people, bro.
have a house. Why would I not keep it? Like, I'm pregnant. He was really opposed to it.
Is the sacrifice gonna be? Is the sacrifice gonna be her baby, bro? Like in abortion. You feel me? You know, here's what we're gonna do. Just so I can know if you're rocking with this video, right? I'm gonna post it right now. Okay. If you like the video, drop a like. If you guys want me to skip any parts, let me know. If you want, let me know in the comments. If you guys don't want me to skip and just start it from here and just let it play all the way out and never skip, let me know in the comments. If you're rocking with it, let me know in the comments. But if you're not rocking with it, I'm just gonna not watch the video. You feel me? You feel me? So this is what I'm gonna do. Let me know if you guys like this video, why I'm going to continue it, and let's find out what happens with the sacrifice and everything else, you know. I love you all. Catch my next video. Peace. The Freak out.